A bruise will disappear. A broken arm, guess what? It will heal eventually. But the words that we hear are written on our hearts for a long time. Hey friend, welcome to another episode of the Workforce Link podcast, where we're offering forward-thinking conversations for the workforce, linking employers and job seekers to a brighter tomorrow. I am so glad you're here, and I don't take it lightly that you're willing to take time out of your day to listen to this podcast. So thank you so much. In today's episode, we're going to talk about a topic that is near and dear to my heart, and that is understanding our value. When we know our value, our decisions reflect that. When we don't know our value, guess what? Our decisions reflect that. Those are powerful words, my friend. So, how do we truly find our value? That's a great question, and we are going to learn more about that in today's episode. So, let's dig in. You can choose to base your value on your past, or you can choose today. But here's the thing. You can't do both. Now listen. Today I am giving you a choice between life and death. These words sum it all up for us. We can choose life with our words and our actions, or we can choose death. The choice is up to us. Powerful words, I know, but it is truth, my friend. The words that we hear, whether they're spoken to us or by us, affect the way that we see the world. They affect the decisions that we make. We start to believe things that aren't true, and before we know it, our minds only know what we've led ourselves to believe. We believe what we tell ourselves. We believe what others tell us. I actually found this quote the other day when I was preparing for this episode, and I wanted to share it with you. It says, "Make sure you don't start seeing yourself through the eyes of those who don't value you." I'm going to say that again, okay? Make sure you don't start seeing yourself through the eyes of those who don't value you. I don't know who to give credit to for those powerful words, but sit in that for just a second, okay? Sit in those words for just a second. Make sure you don't start seeing yourself through the eyes of those who don't value you. Aren't we guilty of that? Pointing the finger at myself, definitely guilty of it. I'm guilty of believing things that others have said to me, guilty of seeing myself through the eyes of other people who don't value me, but also seeing myself through my own lies, right? Totally guilty of it. Not only, allowing our past decisions to define our value, but also seeing ourselves through the eyes of those who have spoken negative words to us. But here's the thing. You ready for this? Get a pen, write this down. It's good. For true change to take place, we have to replace the lies with truth. For true change to take place, we have to replace the lies with truth. I think we should get that on a bumper sticker. I don't know if they still do bumper stickers or not. But let me give you an example, okay? Let me give you an example of lies versus liberating truths. So here's a lie. I'll never amount to anything. How many times have you said that? Or how many times has someone you know said that? Okay, but behind every lie, there's always a liberating truth. So the example was, the lie was, I'll never amount to anything. Okay, but the liberating truth is, I have so many great gifts to offer this world. Which one's better? Which one gives you more confidence? Which one do you think is more powerful when we say it to boost our confidence? I'm never going to amount to anything, or I have so many great gifts to offer this world. Hey friend, taking a quick break from this episode to share something with you. Picture yourself for a second, standing behind the counter at the shoe store. A customer walks in and wants to buy the best pair of shoes that you have. They want a quality product, but also want to save money. There's another shoe store across the street having a huge sale, but the customer came to you first. You only have a few minutes to explain why the customer should buy your shoes versus the shoes across the street. So you help the customer try the shoes on, all the while explaining the benefits of the cushioning, the upgraded technology, the comfort level, and not to mention how fantastic they look on their feet, right? Well, think of your elevator pitch the same way when you're in a job interview with a potential employer. Your elevator pitch is a brief explanation describing the benefits of buying a product, except you are that product. An elevator pitch is one of the most important tools that you have when applying for a job. When you position yourself with confidence, clearly summarizing your experience, your skills, your desirable characteristics, that employer is ready to listen. Put in a nutshell, you're going to impress the employer. We want to help you do that. That's why we created How to Create the Perfect Elevator Pitch, a free guide with 4 proven simple steps that will help you wow your next employer. You can download it for free today at cwdregion.com/elevator pitch. That's cwdregion.com/elevator pitch. And now back to the show. So let's talk for a minute about lies versus liberating truths. Remember that quote that goes, "Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me." I'm not sure who takes credit for that statement, but I have one word to sum up that sentence, and that is malarkey, okay? Words hurt, right? Words hurt worse than anything else. You know, a bruise will disappear. A broken arm, guess what? It will heal eventually. But the words that we hear are written on our hearts for a long time, and sometimes forever if we choose to allow them to be. That's a big word right there, my friend. Choose. If we choose to allow them to be. You know, just because someone says something about you, guess what? It doesn't make it true. You, my friend, get to decide what's true about you. You know, we can let the words of others control our destinies, or we can make the decision today to change the trajectory of our lives. Guess what? It's up to us. So the definition of liberating is freeing a place or people from enemy occupation, or providing a release from a situation which limits freedom of thought or behavior. So imagine your life for a moment if you could be released from a situation limiting your freedom of thought or behavior, freed from lies. Well, guess what, my friend? You can. I want to encourage you to sit down and take some time and write down the lies that you have believed about yourself, whether you've told them to yourself or somebody else has told them to you. And we made it really easy for you to do, giving you a downloadable template that's going to help you get started. I'll talk about that at the end of this episode. But again, we want to do everything we can to make this simple and easy for you, okay? And easy might not be the right word, okay? Because doing something like this is simple, but it's not easy, okay? So I definitely don't want to downplay that at all for you. You know, it's not gonna be easy, but guess what? We're not here to do easy, right? We're here to be liberated, right? So then what you're gonna do, once you write those lies down, next to each lie, you're gonna write a liberating truth about who you really are. And let me stop here and provide a disclaimer for you, okay? I understand that you're not just going to write down these liberating truths and guess what? Everything's going to change in an instant. But it's a great start, and we have to start somewhere, right? It's a great start for you to see the truth about who you really are written right in front of you and by you. Because the more that you see these truths, the more you'll start to believe them. You might think I'm crazy, okay? But I'm not. Trust me in this, okay? And let me say this. You don't have to trust me. Trust the process, okay? Trust the process. Even if you think it's ludicrous, trust the process. So let me give you another example of this, of lies versus liberating truth from my own life, okay? So I used to believe the lie that I was unlovable. Because of the rejection I experienced as a small child, I carried that lie around for a long time, for most of my life. And I had to replace that lie, right, with the liberating truth. And the liberating truth behind the lie that I'm unlovable is that I am loved deeply by God, family, and friends. Replace the lie with a liberating truth. So here are some other samples that you might relate to, okay? These are a lot of common ones. The lie, I'm not good enough. Okay, what's the liberating truth? I am good enough. Boom, right? The lie, I'll always be a bad leader. The liberating truth, I lead well and I'm always learning how to do better. The lie, I'll never amount to anything. The liberating truth, I have everything I need to be successful in this world. Here's another one. The lie, I'll never find a decent job. The liberating truth, I'm a hard worker and a valuable team member working in the field I am passionate about. Isn't that liberating just hearing that out loud? Hey friend, I hope you're enjoying this episode as much as I am. I wanted to interrupt for just a quick minute to invite you to check out our Central Missouri Job Centers. With 8 different locations throughout the Central region, we have an excited staff waiting to assist you with all your employment-related needs. Columbia, Rolla, Jefferson City, Lebanon, Lake of the Ozarks, and more. Whether you're looking for employment, want to go back to school and earn an education, or you're an employer trying to find your next great team member, our Job Center staff can help. Find your closest Job Center location today at cwdregion.com/jobcenters. That's cwdregion.com/jobcenters. Now, back to the show. So now that you know the truth about who you really are, it's time to turn those truths into an actual statement that you can wear proudly. Think of it as a name tag, okay? A permanent name tag that you're gonna wear. This is where you get to do more heart work, as I like to call it. So you're gonna write out 2 to 3 sentences that will become what's known as your value statement, okay? And this statement is meant for you to use daily, okay? So don't take it lightly. This is who you are starting today. This is who you are starting in this very moment. And remember this, the more you speak the truth about who you really are, the more you believe it, okay? The more you speak the truth about who you really are, the more you believe it. And when your value statement is finished, this is extremely important, okay? Don't skip this part, okay? When your value statement is finished, I've got one more step for you. At the end, add these words, and I am valuable. I know it sounds silly right now, but you're going to be glad that you did it later, okay? Remember to trust the process. So let me give you an example from my own value statement, okay? I'm Sunday Joe. I'm a caring, compassionate, thought-provoking communicator who loves to offer hope to others. And I am valuable. Do you hear the strength in that statement, the confidence in that statement, the liberating truth in that statement? I couldn't have got to that statement if I didn't know what the liberating truths were behind the lies that I was believing. And I can't get to the liberating truths until I start with the lies, right? So when I was teaching personal and professional development to justice-involved individuals, when we first did this exercise, to be honest with you, most of them hated me, like legit. But I reminded them to trust the process. They didn't have to trust me, but I needed them to trust the process. And so I'd be standing around this group of grown men, and they were not happy about using the words, and I am valuable at the end of their value statements. They weren't happy about doing a value statement, period. They felt weak, right? They were embarrassed. But I started to watch their countenance change as they would say the words, as I would come back week after week and they would put this into practice. They would stand up a little straighter and talk a little louder. Every week they got more confident. I actually forgot to have them do it one day, and several of them reminded me that we could not start class without giving our value statements. They trusted the process, and they did it even when they didn't feel like it. And guess what? It paid off. It paid off in confidence and belief that despite their past, despite the fact that they were in prison, they really did have value. Well, guess what, my friend? So do you. Whether you are walking in a job that you hate, whether you're running a company that you don't know how you're going to survive it, whether you're a single mother who doesn't know how you're going to live day to day, no matter what your circumstances are right now, you have value. So, like I said earlier, I'm going to make this as easy as possible for you to do this exercise, or as I like to call it, heart work. Okay, so let's do a quick recap of what we went over in this episode. You're going to take some time, okay, and you're going to write down the lies that you've either believed about yourself or lies that others have told you. And even if you're not sure whether it's a lie or not, okay, I encourage you to just write it down. Then, next to that lie, you're going to write a liberating truth. And don't rush through this process, okay? Actually, I encourage you to set a timer for 15 minutes, okay? And write down everything that comes to your mind. Then take 15 minutes and write down the truth to combat each lie, okay? You can do it. Set a timer, get rid of all the distractions, turn off your phone, turn off all the noise, and just focus on this, okay, for 30 minutes. Then you're going to write your value statement. Okay, I gave you my example earlier, and I'll also provide it in the template that we provided for you, okay? You're going to take those liberating truths that you just learned about yourself, and you're going to turn them into a 2 to 3 sentence value statement. And don't forget, okay, to add at the end the words, "and I am valuable." Okay, don't skip out on that part, my friend. I'm telling you, it's so important. I promise that it makes a difference in boosting your confidence. And again, we've made it so easy for you to do this, okay, to work through this. We've provided a free I Am Valuable downloadable template, okay? It has everything that you need to walk through this exercise, okay? You can download it for free at cwdregion.com/valuable, okay? cwdregion.com/valuable. And I would love to hear your value statements once you've done this exercise. I would love to celebrate with that in that with you. So feel free to share. If you want to share that, you can send your value statements to sundayjoe.graham@cwib.us. That's sundayjoe, SUNDIJO.graham, GRAHAM @CWIB.us. I would love to hear those and celebrate with you, okay? And remember this, my friend, you are valuable. Hey, if you enjoyed today's episode of the Workforce Link podcast, would you mind heading over and leaving a review wherever you listen to this podcast? This helps others find us, and that is our goal, to enjoy these conversations with as many people as possible. And preferably a 5-star review would be great. Have a great week, my friends, and we'll meet again in the next episode. Until then, remember this: there's always a brighter tomorrow if you're willing to find it. The Central Region Workforce Development Board Incorporated and COPIC are equal opportunity employers and programs. Auxiliary aids and services are available upon request to individuals with disabilities. Missouri Relay Services at 711.